Okay, so let's try an example now using a markup. So obviously, stores are going to buy certain products at a cost but then when they sell them to the consumer, they're not going to charge the cost that they paid to get the item. They're going to apply a markup and then charge the consumers more so that they can make a profit. So, let's talk about a sweater. Let's say a store buys a sweater for $30 and they're going to mark it up by 50% when they put it on sale in their store. So what would the cost be to the consumer? So for what price does the store sell the sweater? Well, let's think about what's going on here. So you have the original cost of the item. And then you're going to add the markup. So you're going to add the dollar markup. Okay, not the percent, but the dollar markup. And that's going to equal the selling price. Okay? What the store is going to sell the item for. All right? So, the original cost, okay, we know is $30. Okay? Because we're given that information right here. Okay? Now, what is the dollar markup? Okay, well, we know up here that it's marked up by 50%. So we just need to find out how many dollars is that. So the dollar markup is just $30, the original cost. Actually, we don't need the dollar sign there. We'll just do $30, which is the original cost, times 50%, or 0.5. Okay? And that's going to equal $15. Okay? So the markup, the dollar markup is 15. Okay? I'll put a dollar sign, I guess, in front. All right. And that's going to equal $45. Okay? So the selling price of the item is just simply the original cost, $30, plus the dollar markup, okay, which in this case was $30 times 50%, which is $15, okay? Now, if I go back to this dollar markup, I think I mentioned in a previous video that sometimes people like ratios. So if you want to set up a ratio, you can say 50 is to 100 as what, so we'll call that x, is to 30, okay? And then you can solve for x and you wind up with x equaling 15. Either way is fine. This way up here is obviously faster. You just take the original cost and multiply it by the percent written as a decimal, and that'll give you the number. Or you can, use two ratios and set them equal to each other and just take the cross products and solve for x. Either way is fine, okay? So there you go. So it's just 45. And then remember in a previous video I talked about writing a complete sentence. So you're going to write the store sells the sweater for $45. Okay? So they're making a $15 profit. All right. Now, this is my question to you. Is there a faster way to do this? And kind of like with the discounts, there is. So let me ask you this. What if I told you, I'm just going to delete again. I know this doesn't get me too far, but at least it'll less that I have to actually erase. Okay. So what if I told you there was a way to do it where we only had to multiply two numbers together? Okay. And there is. And it's similar to how we did the discount, okay? So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you the quick way to do it, then I'm going to show you why, okay? So let me just finish erasing here. I'm sure there's a faster way, and I'll figure out that faster way. But I wanted to get some videos up for you guys right away. Okay. So what if I told you all you had to do was take the original cost, 30, times 1.5. What if I told you that? 30 times 1.5. So you can do that on your calculator. What does that equal? $45. Okay? All right? So there you go. That was so fast. How did we do that so quickly? We just took 30, the original cost, and multiplied it by 1.5, and we ended up with the answer. Well, let's think about it. Remember, it was original cost, $30, plus dollar markup, which if you kind of scroll back, you'll remember was 30 times 0.5. Okay? So again, original cost, okay, I'll do that as OC, original cost plus dollar markup. I'll call that an MU. Okay, so original cost is right here. Dollar markup is right there. Okay, so now let's think about it. Can we factor something out? And the answer is yes. Do you agree that there's a 30 in both terms? Okay, so we can factor that 30 out. Okay, so if I factor a 30 out of 30, I'm left with 1. And if I factor a 30 out of 30 times 0.5, I'm just left with 0.5. Okay? I'm going to go back to black because I know sometimes people have difficulty with red. So again, all I did was I factored a 30 out of this. So factored a 30 out of this term, I'm left with 1, and then it was plus, and then I need to factor a 30 out of this term, so I'm left with 0.5. Okay? Now look at this. I can simplify it. 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. Okay? And there you go. If you look, it's exactly what we had up here. Okay? 30 times 1.5, and this is also 30 times 1.5. Okay? So all you need to remember for this is that it's always just going to be original cost times, and then it's going to be 1 plus % markup as a decimal. Okay, remember you have to write it as a decimal. Don't write 50 there because then you'll end up with 51. So you have to write that % markup as a decimal. Okay, so, we could do something quickly. Let's say it was let's just make up a problem right now. Let's say it was a $42 sweater, okay? So it was a $42 sweater, and it has a markup of 75%, okay? And I'm going to just abbreviate markup as MU, okay? So what would you do? Well, you would just simply do 42 times 1 plus 0.75, which is 42 times 1.75, okay, which you can do on your calculator, and that is going to be, let me see here, 42 times 1.75, and that's 73.50. So in the case of a $42 sweater being marked up by 75%, the store is going to sell that sweater for $73.50. So there you go.